Over the past decade, there's been a growing trend for headless guitar models. Companies such as Ibanez, Strandberg and Keightley have been pioneering the headless guitar design. But in today's video, we'll be comparing two Mayones guitars, one with a headstock and one without, to put to the test if it actually makes any difference to tone or playability. So let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury shred machines here in Nottingham, England. My name is Keightley, and in today's episode we're going to be checking out two Mayones guitars. The first guitar we're going to be checking out is a Regius Core 6, which is their flagship metal machine. And we're going to be comparing it to a Hydra, which is a headless guitar, no headstock at all, and is a very small, compact guitar, kind of rivaling the Strandberg market. Let's see which one's victorious in today's episode and talk about headless guitars. So let's open up the case of the Regius Core. So here is the Mayones Regius Core 6. As you can see, we have a headstock on this one, so this is our headstock contender. This is an extremely nice example of a Regius Core 6. It's essentially a custom shop version of a Mayones, as you have some really cool specs on this one. As you can see, I've got the certificate of authenticity and the spec sheet, which obviously authenticates your product. So words can't really explain how beautiful this top is, but I'll try my best. Basically, we've got a quilted maple for a cap on this guitar with a transgenes black burst gloss finish. This particular top has a lot of character to it, as the quill and the cross grain kind of interact to each other to create a very swirling pattern. It's a lovely top, and the finish really brings out the beauty of this piece of wood. And if that wasn't enough, we also have a matching headstock with that same quilt maple cap with the trans black finish. We have a neck through construction on this particular guitar, so we have a black limb body, as you can see with that lovely grain, and then we have an 11-ply neck, which is neck through designed. The 11-ply neck is made out of maple, mahogany, wenge and amazoke. Neck through designs are very desirable as they create more natural sustain for the guitar, and they also look great for aesthetics. This is obviously a natural back with a satin finish, so we can really show off that neck through body. We have an ebony fretboard on this one and 24 frets. This scale length is 25.4 inches, and we have black pearloid binding, which really looks cool. I've never really seen this on another guitar other than a Mayones. Very subtle, but also very, very stylish. So finally, let's talk about electronics and hardware. In this guitar, we have a set of bare knuckle pickups TKO 6 in the bridge and neck. We have one volume and one tone, which is a push-pull, so we're allowed to get single coil tones as well. We also have the Mayones treble bleed mod, which basically prevents treble loss when you roll down the volume knob. The bridge on this guitar is very interesting. We have the Schala Hannes 6 bridge, and we have Hipshot Grip Lock 3+3 locking tuners. The nut is Graphtec, and we have Buckeye Burl and Wenge dome knobs. So there are the specs of this incredible Regius Core 6 guitar. So let's hear it in action. So now it's time to look at our headless examples. This is the Mayones Hydra Elite 6. This guitar is obviously very different in terms of construction and even just like body width and cutaways. Obviously it's a lot smaller of a guitar and doesn't have a neck through design. So starting off with that incredible top, we have an I Poplar 3A top, which is finished in a natural finish, and it's also satin. The body is mahogany Kea, and we have a HH configuration, so just two humbucks on this one. As we work our way down onto the neck, we have a Wenge and Purple Heart 5-ply neck, which is very comfortable to play, I must say, and again has that satin finish. As you can see here, we have a 6-bolt construction, bolt-on neck with a little bit of a cutaway. Very comfortable to play, and obviously that bolt-on neck is going to create a little bit of a tonal difference to a neck-through design. The scale length is the same, it's a 25.4 inch. And we have a satin finish all over this neck. It's actually open pore, so you can see the grain of the wood and also feel it. This guitar was very easy to play. It balanced very well on the strap because of the strap button locations, and it didn't neck dive too much. The neck on this one was a little bit thicker than the Regius core, which I found a lot easier to play for sure, and it stayed in tune amazingly. We actually have the same pickups in this guitar, which is interesting. We have the bare knuckle TKO 6s in the bridge and neck, but we only have one volume control, which is a push-pull. The bridge on this guitar is the Mayo Headpiece plus Clamp ABM Headless 6. Obviously, as this is a headless guitar, you do all the tuning at this end by rotating these little cylinders, as I'm showing in the video now. So this was definitely a very well-built guitar, very high-end. I did prefer the Regius core aesthetics. I think the high gloss finish and the quilt maple top on that one just look killer, and I'm not a massive fan of these kind of dinky style headless guitars, but it definitely is a very cool example, so let's hear it in action now. So now that we've heard from both these guitars, we're going to do a tone comparison to hear how they differ tonally. Bear in mind that these guitars have the same electronics, so they both have the bare knuckle TKO pickups, so the differences in tone will come from the gloss of the finish, the wood choice, or even maybe the headstock. So let's check it out. guys, what are my final thoughts on these two Mayones guitars? In my opinion, I'm not a big fan of the way that Headless guitars look, so coming into this experiment I was already slightly biased. But I have to say that the Hydra played incredibly well, and I do think, in a weird way, it looks very cool without a headstock. Tuning at the bottom of the end is a little bit impractical, if I'm being honest, but the tone of this guitar was incredible, and I actually preferred the neck shape on the Hydra to the Regius. The satin finish all over this guitar as well made it very easy to play, especially for metal and shreddier playing. However, I do prefer the look of the Regius core model. Obviously this is a very high-end custom shop version of a Mayones. The heavy lacquer finish, the quilt navel top, the black Avonlea binding. It's an absolute looker and it's an amazing piece of art, as well as sounding really cool as well. To my ear, the Regius core had a little bit more treble than the Hydra. It was a little bit more Strat-like in areas, whereas the Hydra had a bit more of a Les Paul type tone. Obviously, because of that, I preferred the tonality of the Hydra, but I preferred the look of the Regius core. So I have to say the winner of today's episode, surprisingly, is actually the Headless guitar. Would I buy this guitar? Probably not. I prefer the look of the Regius, but in terms of tones, speaking just about tones and playability, the Hydra definitely won. That's my thoughts, guys. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of these two guitars. Are you a fan of Headless guitars, or do you think they look awful? Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing if you like our channel. Subscribing allows us to get bigger and better guitars on this channel and grow our channel even further. But thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of Squealing Pig Guitars. Until then, keep rocking, guys. See you soon.